Hello students, in my last lecture we had seen the first law of motion and some practical applications. Today we shall see more practical applications and their proper scientific cause of Newton's first law of motion. So see, if we give jerk to the branch of any tree, then what happens? Fruits, leaves fall towards Earth's surface. How it happens? If we give jerk to branch of any tree, then branch comes into motion, but fruits and leaves try to remain at rest. So they detach and fall towards the Earth's surface. So we can write it, if the branch of any tree starts to move due to a storm or another region, then fruits and leaves fall towards Earth's surface. Once again see, what is its cause? If we give jerk to branch of any tree, or suppose it is storm, wind starts to blow with very high speed, then branches move rapidly, but fruits and leaves try to remain at rest due to inertia of rest, and they detach and fall towards Earth's surface. Next, if we strike any duster, then dust particles come out from it. It is our day-to-day practice. What we see, if we strike our duster after using it, then duster comes into motion, but the dust particles associated with it try to remain at rest due to inertia of rest, so dust particles come out from it. Next, if we strike any after taking bath, then water droplets come out from it. This is also our practical event in our day-to-day practice. After taking bath, when we strike our wet clothes, then what happens? Our clothes come into motion, but the water droplets associated with it try to remain at rest, so small water droplets come out from it. There are so many practical examples. Now see, if you strike any blanket or cushion with a stick, then dust particles come out from it. So there are so many different practical examples which we can explain according to our situation. Now in our book there are some activities related to it. See, we shall explain each and every activities because From very beginning classes, I have said you that now questions become practical and analytical. So our understanding must be clear. So see activity 9.1 of page 117 NCERT. What is given here? See, this is activity. This is carom board, and here it is piles of coins. When we strike it with a striker, then what happens? This striker strikes the coin at bottom. This coin moves in forward direction and rest fall at the same place. So make a pile of similar carom coins on a table as shown in figure 9.6. Attempt a sharp horizontal hit, a strike with our striker suddenly. See, hit at the bottom of the pile using another carom coins or the striker. If the hit is strong enough, the bottom coin moves out quickly. If you strike fast, then bottom coins move in forward direction. The bottom coin moves out quickly. Once the lowest coin is removed, the inertia of the other coins make them fall vertically on the table. This is also one of the most important practical applications of first law of motion. Now, activity 9.2. See what is given in activity 9.2. See, take a glass tumbler, put a postcard over it, and at the surface of postcard we put a 5 rupees coin. Now if we give sudden jerk to the postcard, then postcard moves suddenly, and due to inertia of rest, coin remains at its original position and it falls in the glass. So see activity 9.2. Set a 5 rupee coin on a stiff card covering an empty glass tumbler. This is glass tumbler, empty glass tumbler, at the surface of which we have taken a postcard or cardboard on which we put 5 rupee coin. Give the card a sharp horizontal flick with finger. We strike it suddenly with our finger. If we do it fast, then the card shoots away, allowing the coin to fall vertically into the glass tumbler due to its inertia. So the inertia of the coin tries to maintain its state of rest even when the card flows off. So all these are practical applications of Newton's first law of motion. Again, activity 9.3. Place a water-filled tumbler on a tray. We take a glass tumbler, fill it with water, and put it on a tray. Hold the tray and turn around as fast as you can. We observe that the water spins by. If we move it suddenly, then glass tumbler comes into motion, but water inside it try to remain at rest. So it starts to spin. So these are practical applications of Newton's first law of motion. Now, the next article is inertia and mass. Inertia and mass. Inertia and mass. To understand this topic, first of all, we just discuss some practical applications. Dear students, suppose you are riding on a bicycle. Your bicycle is moving with high speed, and your some notorious friend try to stop your bicycle by just pulling it in back. Now, if with the same speed a car is moving on road, then can your friend stop it after applying the same force? No. Why? Because the mass of bicycle is very less in comparison to the mass of the car. Similarly, second situation. Suppose in our school ground there is very large bus which is loaded with students. There is some technical problem. Bus don't start with its or usual switches or batteries. Sometimes we see that some persons start to push it from its back and bus starts. Now, suppose the situation, we have a car in the same ground of our school and we have to push the car. At the same time, we have to push heavy, large bus. So, for which more force is required? Obviously, we require larger force to push a heavy truck or bus in comparison to a light car. So, what we learn with this practical applications, we see that as mass of any object increases, its inertia also increases, and if mass of any object decreases, its inertia also decreases. So, with this concept, we can say that the mass of an object is a measure of its inertia. In text questions, see question number 1. Question number 1. What is given here? Which of the following has more inertia? A rubber ball and a stone. So what will be the answer of this question? You have a rubber ball and a stone ball of the same size. Whose mass will be larger? Obviously, the mass of the ball of a stone will be more. So, inertia of a stone ball will be more. So, here answer will be a stone. See, here answer will be a stone of the same size. So once again, see, you have a rubber ball and a ball of a stone of the same size, then inertia of a stone ball of same size will be larger. In the same question, see in B, a bicycle and a train. What will be the answer? In a bicycle and train, whose inertia will be more? Answer will be train. C, a 5 rupees coin and a 1 rupees coin. Whose inertia will be more? In comparison to a 5 rupees coin and 1 rupees coin, which will be heavier? 5 rupee coin. So clearly here answer will be 5 rupees coin. Now see question number 2. In the following example, try to identify the number of times the velocity of the ball changes. See question number 2. Question number 2. A football player kicks a ball. Suppose this is a ball. A football player kicks this ball. A football player kicks this ball to another player. So this ball comes to another player of his team who kicks the football towards the goal. Now this player kicks this ball to the goal. Suppose here is goal. The goalkeeper of the opposite team. Now here the goalkeeper of the opposite team stops it, collects the football and kicks it towards a player of his own. So now this ball is kicked towards another player. So how many times see here? Velocity. We have learnt earlier that velocity has both magnitude and direction. So see, first time here either magnitude or direction changes. So 1, 2, 3. Goalkeeper stops. And again the direction and movement is changed. So number of changes will be 1, 2, 3 and 4. Obviously 4 times its direction and magnitude changes. Also identify the supplying force in each case. Who supplies force here? Every time the force is applied by player, nature of the force is muscular force, So who is agent here? Here player is the agent who is applying forces. Question number 3. See, explain why some of the leaves may get detached. Just I have explained this question in the starting of our lecture. This is practical, very important practical application of Newton's first law of motion. Explain why some of the leaves may get detached from a tree if we vigorously shake its branch. See, if we vigorously move or give jerk, shake the branch of any tree, then branch comes into motion, but leaves or fruits try to remain at rest due to inertia of rest, so they detach and start to fall in downward direction. Fourth, why do you fall in forward direction when a moving bus brakes to stop and fall backward when it accelerates from rest? In my last lecture, that is, in my previous class, I had explained this topic. Once again, I am giving its explanation. Why do you fall in forward? If you are moving in any vehicle and the driver takes brake, then what happens? The vehicle comes to rest. So lower portion of our body tries to come to rest, but due to flexibility of our body, the upper portion tries to remain in motion due to inertia of motion, so we fall in forward direction. Similarly, suppose we are sitting in any vehicle and the vehicle suddenly starts to move in forward direction, then the lower portion of our body tries to move in forward direction, but the upper portion tries to remain at rest due to inertia of rest, so we fall in back. Thus, we solve all in-text questions of page 118 NCERT. Now, before completion of this lecture, I give you homework once again. Solve in text questions of page 118 yourself. Thank you very much.